Okay, so I'm walking here on the street by our home in Jeremie, Haiti, and thought I'd do another update on how things are going here with Haiti, here in Jeremie specifically, and with our work with Thrive Ansanm. So I'm taking a bit of a scenic route today. I went to the office, realized I forgot my laptop, had to come all the way home, get it, and it's not far. But I decided to walk back through the mountains a little bit. Just a little path up and down, hills, mountains, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to take this time to do an update as I'm walking. So we are, here in Jeremie. There's a lot of headlines that you'll read about Haiti. Pardon my breath, I'm walking up a pretty steep hill now. But most of what you read about Haiti is going to have to do with the government. A lot of it centers around Port-au-Prince. And, you may not see these headlines, but if you actually look for them, there are articles there on Haiti and the situations with specifically the gangs and the violence in Port-au-Prince. Bonsoir. So, it's true. In Port-au-Prince, gangs continue to control over half of the city, and that affects everything for people living in Port-au-Prince. It's really, really difficult. Bonsoir. But it doesn't just affect people living in Port-au-Prince, because say if a truck needs to take goods or supplies from downtown Port-au-Prince here to us in Jeremie, we're the very southwestmost part of Haiti. We've got to go through a neighborhood called Martissant. The gangs control the highway there. You're going to charge a fee to get there. Furthermore, the gangs have exercised some control over the fuel in the country, bonsoir. And it's driven up fuel prices. This is kind of in combination with a black market for fuel. So for instance, here in Jeremie, we purchase fuel on the street, not in the black market. So getting to my point, all of this means that the costs have gone up here in Jeremie immensely. They call it la vie chère, which means high cost of living here in Haiti. So in Jeremie especially, since we are really the farthest major town from Port-au-Prince in the south part of Haiti, we sort of get there at the very end of the line as far as materials. Bonsoir. So, costs have gone up here immensely. It's been really, really difficult for people living here because the costs have gotten higher and higher and higher. Wages haven't increased, and work is getting more limited because of the struggling economy. So when we arrived here a little over a year ago in Jeremie, there was already limited supplies. We already found that costs are more expensive than what we had been paying when we lived in Carrefour, which is a section of Port-au-Prince. And yet in the last little over a year, we've seen prices skyrocket. Some of the produce and vegetables that we buy, it's, double what it was. So I'm here at the top of the hill here, and a little view of part of Jeremie. The ocean, really, really pretty. So you can see why occasionally I like to take this scenic route back to the office. Now I'll just descend down the hill here, back into the office. So we were just in Lacaille, which is the next town from Jeremie as you're heading back into Port-au-Prince. And what we found is even in Lacaille, prices were significantly lower than what they are here in Jeremie. So what that means for people living here in Jeremie is, well, on the one hand, we enjoy relative peace. Yes, there's gangs here, but they don't really control the city. There's not high rates of violence. We haven't had reports of kidnapping here like you're seeing in the capital. So that's part of the reason we moved here and relocated here. But at the same time, for your average person living here, the cost of living has become very, very prohibitive. Cost goes up and up and up. So now people are saying, how am I going to get a bag of rice to feed my family? Some people actually pay rent for their accommodations. Then it's, almost impossible to pay this. So it's really gotten really, really difficult. So for what we do with Thrive Ansanm, our 3 focuses: education, mentoring, resources. So our focus is in educating, investing in the education of young people in here in Haiti. We support young people all the way from kindergarten through university. And part of the reason we choose education is because it's, a way to invest in the future of Haiti, and because it's one of those ways that you can give that you can be certain that your money's not going to be wasted, because investing in the education of young people, we've seen time and again that it makes a big difference in the lives of young people here in a country that's struggling economically, such as Haiti. And most people know that and see the value of education. For me, that's one of the very first things I noticed when I first started working here in Haiti about 10 years ago was, gosh, at that time I'm in my 20s, I'm single, but I have a job, I have so many opportunities before me. I graduated college, and I look at all the opportunities that I've had in my life, and I realize that so many of my peers and younger, bright, motivated young people simply just don't have the opportunities that I've taken for granted because of where they were born. And I just felt that that was wrong. I still feel that that was wrong. And so what happens now is, so often young people struggle to get through school. If they're lucky enough to get through high school, it's almost impossible to get on to college, and then it's very, very difficult to find work for anyone. But if you don't have an education, it's even more difficult to find work. So you have so many young people that end up bored, feeling purposeless, nothing to do, and as you can imagine, that just results in a variety of social problems. You're more likely to have especially young men who have too much time on their hands, feel disenfranchised. They're more likely to get involved in crime. Young women are more high risk for early pregnancy, teen pregnancy, when they're not ready to get pregnant, and they're already, economically, they're poor, so they don't have a way to support those children they bring into the world. So it just creates so many issues. Then, of course, the gangs, what's happening with the gangs in Port-au-Prince is literally these very poor ghettos in the city where kids aren't getting to school, people are living very, very poor. Gangs are filling a vacuum where the government has not served the people. The systems that should be in place have not served the people. And so people are struggling, and so many directionless young men especially end up getting involved in the gangs. And so education is critically important. So we help young people to go to school. Most of the schools here in Haiti are private. That's a whole nother issue, lack of public education system. We hope that changes, but in the meantime, we help families to afford to send their kids to school. We help young adults to afford to be able to go to university. So that's the first thing that we do. The second thing, what we'll find is a lot of young people, especially when they get to the university level, they may be the first people in their family to go to college. They don't necessarily have people in their immediate family or close to them who have gone to college, moved on to an established career, and therefore they may have a lack of people that can, have been along the path they're trying to go, that can provide advice, support. So we're matching every single one of our university students here in Jeremie to a local mentor. So in the majority of the time, we're actually able to match them to established professional in the field that they're pursuing. So for instance, we have nurses that have, young students studying to be nursing in the university, and we're matching them with the nursing mentor. We have students studying computer science. We're matching them with computer science mentors. Just recently, we brought in a new young man who is going to be studying education, wants to be a teacher, possibly professor at the university level down the road. So we've got in someone who's an educator to help mentor him. So in that way, we're really investing in the future of the young people here in Haiti. And then, finally what we do is we connect young people to resources. So we have a technology resource center here that we run on the campus of a local university, and we help students in the community access computers, internet, consistent electricity. These are all things that most students don't have available in their homes or even in their schools. But going back to the education program and the high cost of living, we don't only support students with tuition. We pay for their books, we pay for other materials that they may need, uniforms for school, And we also give families a monthly stipend. It's not a huge monthly stipend, but we give them a small cash stipend that can at least help to cover the cost of transportation and food for their students while they're in school, lunches for kids while they're in school. And that's really important, you know, and this is something that over time my thinking has evolved as to the best ways of supporting people battling poverty here in Haiti and in other places around the world. So when I first started doing this work, you know, the conventional wisdom that I had learned was that you don't give cash directly to families because they may squander it or not know how to manage it. Now, I do think that there's some reality that if you give anyone, I don't care who you are, large sums of cash, there's a chance that it won't be managed well. And so there could be a caution there. But small stipends, I've found, are a great way to support families here. Because, you know, when you get cash in the hands of families, you enable them to support their families in the ways that they know best. And the truth is, you know, if you want to look at someone who knows how to support a family on very little income, talk to a Haitian mother. Bonsoir. Yeah. Talk to a Haitian mother who's had to manage life with, you know, a bunch of kids, extended family on very little income. They've learned how to do it very, very well. So this conception that, say, people that are living in poverty in developing countries can't manage their money, will just squander their money, I have found to be somewhat unfair. I think a lot of people know how to manage, live on small amounts of money extremely well. So by getting cash in their hands, we're able at least to get a small amount of money in so that they can afford to cover their kids' school expenses, and that's going to free up money for them for other essential needs for their family, such as food and shelter. And I think that's really important. So, you know, the other thing about getting cash in the hands of families in a place like Haiti is if you send products, food, clothes, these kinds of things, one of the issues is they're not buying and supporting local business people here. Bonsoir. Yeah, so when they're not supporting local business people here, you're not investing in the local economy. So when you get cash in the hands of families, you enable them to purchase goods that they need here. You're also supporting small business owners, street merchants who are just trying to do their best to support their families. So that's been our approach. And it's very much similar to how people approach it when, you know, relatives of Haitians living abroad. That's what they do. They support their families by, you know, small cash contributions, what they can. So I'm gonna get out of the way here. Gentleman's carrying up a bed on his head here. As he goes up the mountain, you'll see him behind me here, or it's more like the frame of a bed. So up here in these mountains, people carry anything and everything by hand or by foot. So that's part of the situation here. And you'll notice I'm only filming scenery and myself because I'm sensitive. I don't want to film homes of people without their permission or individuals. You know, we're careful about filming and so forth. But anyway, that's kind of the situation here. Even though Jeremie continues to be in a very difficult situation economically, I've been, you know, I'm inspired by people that just keep getting up every day, doing the best they can to live on what they have. And in spite of all the social problems that we see here in Haiti, sometimes when I consider the tremendous amount of economic need and the dysfunction of the systems and the government and so forth, I'm amazed that so many people function as well as they do given the circumstances. And you know, for us at Thrive Ansanm, we're going to continue investing in young people, continue to invest in education, and also, as I've shared, finding ways to support families through that. And we so appreciate everyone who's able to support the work that we do here in Haiti, because you really are making a difference in the lives of young people here in Haiti. So I'm getting into a more populated area. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the video as I head down this last part to the office.